30-point average throughout our prior drops. And honestly, this is perfect. We get a look at the map. I was wondering when we were going to potentially going back to city because we have not seen that yet today. We've gotten that south of farm zone. We've seen military base. We've kind of seen even the cargo, but bring it to the southwest. It's time.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this because we can only expect, or at least can presume, that it'll be city again, right, Tiff? And we've seen a lot of city zones. They are a ton of fun to watch, and they also dramatically change up who has the advantage in some of these fights. And frankly, a lot of teams like to land in city and are having to rotate to these crazy zones all the way across the entirety of the map or all the way over to farm. And I think some of our city teams have a chance to go big here. I'm specifically looking at Clutch Belk's team, a team that loves to land city on that main construction building. If they can win some of their early gunfights, that team could go big. And they're sitting in 14th place right now. They're just outside of it as well. So watch out for some of those city-based teams to already have some of those in zones held at the very beginning. And as long as they can find some early kills, this could be huge. Now, something different we're seeing from this squad here over around Opal Palace and the neighboring areas. Team Skullface, for the first time maybe this entire tournament, completely unharried, uncontested in any shape or form. They're going to start rotating in free and clear. They have a moment to catch their breath.
For now, as soon as you grab that early loadout, you get the weapons that you feel comfortable with, it's like you go straight on the hunt. And they've already moved into where Team Destroy has positioned themselves down in Lowtown. We're going to turn our attention towards that southern side of Urzikstan, bring it back to Community Center, Stemper, Crafty, Zen Purity on your screen, Funzy on the roof. And just like that, we'll have to wait and see what's going on with them because I wanted to see what was going to happen here. Should we see this Destroy first down and out and now brings it to a 3v2?
Yeah, and I think with a little bit of information, Funzy able to grab Most Wanted out of here. Mark them, grab intel, grab their cash, prevent cash. E700, this team needed it as well. Look, frankly, nobody's out of it. Anything can happen to the final two maps of Warzone, but this E700 team, 31st place going into this map, it loses the ones. This is what happens when you don't play as a team. Just gave your life away for nothing? Dang it. Oh, that's so brutal as this squad. Now, luckily, they still win the gunfight, but I'm frustrated for them. That team had such an incredible performance in past variations of this event, and they're so hot and cold. They've got to get a handle on how to play, and unfortunately, they're running out of time. 31st place. We'll see what they can do. 30th place on your screen, fighting against 10th place with Team Destroy. Both teams need it. One quite a bit more than the other. Not taking the fight yet, just getting their resources up, getting their loadouts, and getting ready for what's next.
Yeah, they're like around 20 points outside of that 12th place threshold. And to keep that moving forward and to get there, they're going to need to beat that average per game and then the difference. So we're looking for a 30-point game out of them if they want to change the course of action here in drop number 5.
That's a great way to look at it. I mean, their average now has to be so dramatically skewed to these last two games. They need 2 bangers, frankly. And 30-point games are not that difficult if you've watched a lot of scrims. But here in this matchup, incredibly hard. So we're going to tune into their comms and see what their vibes are like as they go into this rotation.
I don't want to overextend too much. It's fucking
the other team backing up. The other team still just split on the hill. I'm gonna play up close to them. They PA'd themselves. I'm good.
Okay. We have nobody back up main.
See, they're second.
They're just probably standing on boxes.
Yeah, they're playing close to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna play up with you.
I got spotted by recon.
That's their recon. Mortared.
Yeah, they just mortared themselves. Okay, no.
I don't have a smoke. Fuck. I'm backing up.
I can smoke you. Here.
Smoked.
Nice.
I threw an armor.
Oh, flying in. One flew bottom left.
Getting tagged.
Hey, one armor up top.
Yo, one kid's right here. On live. Weak. No plates knocked.
Nice.
Trying to get that full.
I couldn't get the full.
Yeah, I can't get it either.
Yeah, they're gonna get him up. We can play D in them while they're doing that.
Yeah, one's right here.
That's the other kid. Okay, all 3 are over there now, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, hit that one armor.
I opened the store on D and them. They're gonna have C4s down.
I hit him.
Yeah, they C4'd.
I'm getting shot from above.
No, he slid out on me.
Hit one armor.
He slid out.
One. Fuck, I got killed.
Oh my god.
Dude, my C4 went fucking nowhere.
I don't know how
Bro.
Raul just slid out on me like that.
I see.
Well, my C4 went nowhere. But Almond in the gulag, Obs on the other side, which means Team Tommy's having a rough go at it as well. That connects, the smoke goes out. We completely misread the situation. These are must-win gulags for Skullface and Noobs.
Oh my goodness, what is happening right now? Skullface, a must-win, looking for Strixie. Slides in, barrel stuff, can't get his gun up. He goes into attack sprint. He goes down, only Noobs gets out of the gulag. An utter breakdown. Such an interesting listening to their comms. Everything was going near perfectly. And then it was like the small talk just vacated right when the fighting stopped. They couldn't get intel on it. C4s weren't hitting where they wanted them to. Oh my goodness. They're still alive. They got 2 up, but this is what I assume has been happening for the last 4 maps. They just can't win their team fights. Like, it was a 3v2, but they were just getting cross-shot by an opposing team up on the hill, and it was enough coverage and enough of a harrying point where they couldn't push in the way they wanted to. And frankly, it actually came down to that well-placed stun from Raul that stopped Almond from being able to push in and get around the corner to stay alive. That was a ridiculous sequence of events. This team is in a blender and in 30th place with little to show for it. Not much going better in this map.
Well, so one of our teams that are on the cusp of qualifying for LAN today is going to be Omit NA on the opposing side of Community Center. Here's Scroat, Soph, Eye Patch. They're going to have to contend with some heavy hitters who have just not been able to break free of the 12th place slot. I need some big damage, big elims out of them here for now. 37 teams still up, so it's very fresh. Now, granted, this will stay this way for about Circle 4 and let the C4s enter. I don't know what Skull was talking about. Those C4s do go somewhere. They still float across.
Yeah, that was a great shot. Here we go. Fight ensuing. Quick early knocks, Juju. Last year, I asked him what his secret was to success. He said confidence is key. We push every fight with 100% confidence we can win, and it helps out a ton. And this time, playing with the youngsters and Brax, certainly have a lot of confidence going into this stage. So far, probably not going the way they want it to. This map, though, looking like could go their way. They're right in that kind of flex position, 12th place, and like Dan said, they've been sitting there for basically this entire tournament, right on the edge of relegation to LCQs or making global finals. It's going to come down to this map, this fight, the next fight. Isolate every moment ahead of you into just what's right ahead of you. You've got to just win the next thing. Can't think about the macro too much, not in moments like this where your backs are against the wall and New Texas team's got height advantage.
They rolled in as a third party after hearing those fights. And now Youngsta's just below them. They're all separated out, and I'm curious to see how they're going to approach that. Elsewhere, we get a good look at the map, still pulling towards the south. And to be fair, SSD has found themselves south of suburbs. Just last circle, they were north of Old Town.
Yeah.
I was worried when we saw Almond Squad look for that regain. They immediately flew into their old drop spot near Opal Palace, hit the reset. Now, the one thing that they're missing is time. Time that all these teams have already spent rotating towards the south. They have to get their players back up. They have to get their weapons. Now that rotation is so delayed. But however SSD chained those together, they are going to have to do the same.
You're into the gulag, swag in trouble. Cassette gets the early crack on the plates. Early shots. First blood usually gives you the win, and a nice rip off the heady. Sitrat, a straight shooter looking to get back to land this time around. Taking out swag in the gulag will help. And again, if you took a quick look at that map view, I think it was a great call out. You talked about the ridiculous rotation that's already happened from SSD. I also spotted Destroy's team. Team 4 is that blue team. They were able to make it deeper inside of City. They're inside of that next zone. Again, if you want to take a quick look at that map view, youtube.com/Call of Duty, showing you the map at all times in between maps. It'll show you that leaderboard. Head over there to get more intel about what we're talking about here on main stage, whether you're on Twitch or otherwise. We're having a great day in the office. Some of these teams on the risk of going to LCQs, some of these teams booking their tickets to our global finals. So much at stake, and Intex going to try to push it their way as Swisham's team fully eliminated. Hopefully they've got a couple gulags to work with. Things have not been going their way, Tef.
They're still going to return their sights back on O mid and A, right? They've just been sharing this area for so long, but haven't quite collided together yet. They're the two only squads in this neighboring area. Of course, Team Blast is out towards the western side. Then you have Team Rated out towards their east. Now, Rated's team is going to be rotating in from Manor, where a lot of squads are starting to wrap around, such as Team Big Man. So these two can technically go at it without any third-party resistance for the time being.
Yeah, it's a great call. It is like a true 3v3 for a while here. And Intex, I gotta give it a shout. I kind of laughed at the end of that fight because Intex just wiped his girlfriend off the map, okay? Intex and Swish are an IRL duo, and it's gotta be just a little bit of pain when that happens since they're not playing together for the World Series. But looks like somebody, it's Sage, trying to play a bit of spoiler on this true 3v3 that was gonna last a couple minutes. And in the panic, Brax opens up his shoulder through the door and gives his life away to Mutex. What just happened? Sage causing a bit of chaos on top, but Believe able to strike him down, send him out of here. I don't know if that's a full wipe on Team Sage, but it certainly puts them in a hot spot with Adrian, I believe, last alive for that team. Intex squad, all three up, and now with advantage over this Omit 8A team that is sitting in 12th.
You know, something had to have happened for this squad to want to full send south, right? There's buy stations down here that would be nice for regains, but to full send this, it's kind of crazy considering they were already contending with a lot of teams up in the north, but Skullface on your screen, Almond as well. I talked about their delayed rotation and now have found themselves working their way south from the eastern side by Manor. And when you've got squad number 38, which is going to be Team Kronos on the opposing side, you cannot get gate kept here. And Skull goes down. Not going to be able to get that self-res off, and we are totally wiped here.
That's lobby wiped. Team Almond sent to the lobby to await their final map, a final opportunity to try to make it in, but dropping in 29th with only a couple kills. It might be not even mathematically possible unless they win the next map with like 30 kills. That team has the power and the strength to do it, but holy cow, we're talking about some of the best Warzone players of all time. They just can't piece it together today. But back into the action at hand, team also looking for a lot of points. This Mutex squad just holding down the university, not letting anybody get close. And I think Intact's still looking for a bit of loot.
Imagine being the former solo YOLO champion on LAN and potentially not getting a chance to run it for the back-to-back.
I know. I mean, look, he's third most earned, too, in Urzaxstan. Yeah. Skullface, a top earner on this map. Whew, all right.
Well, Joe Gang on your screen. We've seen him in the end game, more particularly down in map number 4, has found themselves in that 12th place position. You also have Zeppa's team across the way. They won map number 2 with 34 points. It's holding on for them for the leaderboard for now. But you have a lot of heavy hitting teams that hailed from the upper bracket just south of you, right? You see Team Rated, Team SSD, aka Falcons, flying amongst this, somehow have cleared out the south side. Now, when we had Shifty on the interview, something that he was saying, he's like, you know, Soka is a closer. And there's a reason why they have positioned themselves clean on that southern side, similar to what they did in map number 4 when they took the north.
Yeah, no, it's so true. And I'm watching out for that Joe Gang squad. I mean, again, a true underhorse, a team that a lot of people didn't know, an opportunity to make global finals here without having to go to the LCQs. A couple more teams like it, though. Team Accept barely scraped their way into this regional finals, almost got relegated to LCQs in lower bracket round 2. And they're here fighting for their lives, but this fight not going their way. Up above, it's Scummin raining terror through the walls, underneath, down below. Scummin is everywhere, and you can't find him. He's a ghost. And, well, they're doing a lot of what they've been doing this entire tournament. Tiff, Scummin's team has been flying at anybody they can get their hands on. They do not care about placement, and it's paying off. They're top 5.
Maybe that's just their normal style that they feel comfortable with. If you shift your complete playstyle going into this, it can actually hurt you. But for Intex, Believe, Mutex, after clearing out University, they have moved in on Team Rated here on the lower side of the building. Mayapo. Okay.
Yeah.
Rated still up, We do have the gulag in play just for now. It closes right there. So we could see a free send, but for Super Evan, Honor Eyes, Empathy, they get whiff of the engagement that's occurred here, and now look for the move.
Last gulag, I believe, is the final two here. Believe Mutex just barely eking in. A great shout, and Believe gonna try to make this look nice and easy, and does so. Let's see if Mutex can answer back, do the same. Looks like that will be the case. I believe both may be getting out of there, back onto the map, but Super Evan, Autorize Empathy, your map 1 winners went a little bit quiet, still in 3rd place overall. Would love to showcase that they're one of the best teams here, and so far they've proven that as Raid and Mayapo are put on their heels and trying to figure out what to do with the 2v3.
They're gonna look for a mobile buy, but they've got to break down Team Super Evan first. Just completely goes by both of them. Rated last alive, wants to save this, and just jumps out of the building. I'm sorry, but if I'm Team Super Ev, I am still chasing this, but can we get to the mobile buy station to at least get one back? We do. We clutch up in that moment. Empathy doesn't have time to peek. Here comes the peek. You give your life up. He walked so you could run, Mayapo. You have money to do a double buyback if you can get there.
That is crazy that they didn't check Rated over the side. They didn't know where he went. Shook them in their boots as they were regaining inside the building. Rated squad still alive, barely. We see Husker's team getting wiped off screen by SSD, but here we go to the team right on the cusp. 12th place, looking to maybe take down a team from distance, holding this outer edge of University. I like this spot a lot. I think there's 1 to 2 teams that might try to rotate this direction, but otherwise they're fairly clear. The problem is if it continues to creep to like this southeastern side and pushes them out of circle, which I assume it will, they're gonna have to run straight into a full team of Super Evan. And so I'll be very curious to see what this rotation looks like if they can survive this fight. Thermites galore, C4s, everything in between, Tim. They're in a little bit of trouble and they have to smoke and get out.
They really are, but they can't fall here into 20th place. 1.4x multiplier, and we are just smoking under the guise of any kind of cover. There goes the C4 straight to Twitty, straight to the wall, but can't connect. And so far, it's just a big game of ring around the rosy with people losing out on some armor. No real knocks have come through. Brax, though, looking a little lost in the sauce, but containing himself there. Youngsters on the outside now. Has been competing since Verdansk, a very seasoned Warzone competitive player, locking it in here and would love to go to the global land stage. We do have to move in just 10 seconds.
That right there shows you how good of a team Omit NA was. They got pushed. They baited the other team to think they were going to run out. They smoked down and then readdressed the fight from another angle, winning it with all 3 up. Huge, huge plays, but not done yet. On the other side of the zone, Mutex, Believe, I thought they were going to have a very strong game. They did make top 16, but nothing more than that as Vexo Ave. This is Joe Gang, folks. 9th place going into this lobby. They are here to play. They are here to make a statement, and it might have to do with something about Ebates' name, talking crap about this team. Joe Gang is here to say a few choice words, likely, if they make global finals. Here we go. They get Joe back, right back into the mix, all 3 up. Time to make a play. The problem is SSD lurking around the corner. They want your building, and when SSD wants something, they're going to try to take it, and it looks like maybe a 3rd and 4th party could make this a bit more difficult.
Yeah, with the way this zone is just pulling, centers up in the field. Jackal trying to stay alive, last alive for Team Huskers. This squad is in 11th place overall, going massive. And there is still a mobile buy in play, but we cannot get there for Joe Gang. Also on the fringe of trying to clutch up to go to global land. We see the mobile buy coming in, but we do have to move. You see SSD making a gas play on the outside rotate. You also have squad number 6, which is going to be Unrational and co. in the middle with Super Ev. This is chaos.
Jackal almost 1v3'd in the cast, but stopped to shoot a body first. I don't know what's going on, but egos are at play. Vexo, they get center position, and it's center, but out of bounds line is there. B-Mark tries to make a massive play. J-Tech, they've won before. Can they win again? It's been a while. You've been quiet, J-Tech, but you gotta make a move, and Joe Gang's playing spoiler. 2 go down, it's B-Mark now, getting sniped from Honorize Empathy, and they're scumming cleaning up Young. All of a sudden, the long-range fights just clean up that total team fight. They had an opportunity, but they made top 10. Joe Gang still poised to make global finals going into the final map, and Scumming on 11 with 16 downs. This team flew at every squad at their disposal, and this time they make it to end game. This time they're gonna get a crazy multiplier on top of a crazy amount of kills. I think they've got somewhere around 20 kills.
This is going to be a big game to really confirm that land position for themselves. We got to get out of gas, a good smoke to cover them. You also have Zeppa still up in it. They've won a map here already, and we know how crazy they can be inside open endings. We take down Zeppa. There goes the full, thanks to Unrational and Limax to follow suit. But Empathy, Super Ev, and Otter Eyes are making a play from gas. There goes the PDSs. Does anyone have anything else?
This is insane. They are so deep in the zone. Dongy now last alive for his team, getting shot from multiple angles. There's no chance he wins this. Tap coming in. This is a must-win game for Tap. They were down in the 30s. I mean, they're way down the leaderboard, contesting some of the top dogs. A nice rotation of PDS. He gets the full team wipe. Dongy could do it all by himself. Can he win the 1v2 to finish it off? He knocks one. No, can't do it. It will be a win from Tapulator, but it was so dang close. Holy cow. Strixie down in about 34th place, just won a map to keep their life in the tournament still possible. They have a lifeline. They've got an opportunity, but they got to do it again in the final map, Tiff.
These are the things we were talking about more specifically with other teams. If you have to do not only the average that 12th place is holding, but whatever you can to jump out of that. And outside 30th place is not where you want to be coming into the final two maps. So what are you going to do? You're going to act on it. You're going to change. You're going to hit perfect macro rotations and grab eliminations across the way. So let's pull back that last stand. And you can see already on the positioning of where Johnny Bro is. They have to take down Omit NA. They're over there on the north alongside Scummin, Unrational, and then even Team Super Evan.
Wow, what an aerial view too. I mean, we saw this fight occurring and it was almost this isolated 3v3 that after it was over, it just got cleaned up. But it was almost like this totally separate fight that was just way too out in the open for either team, but they were forced to make the play. Now, this is what's crazy. Strixie's team pushed all the way over to that spot and spots Shifty flying in and is able to clean up both before they can do anything with the help from the far side shots. They set up perfectly. They then smoke for visual cover, and the other teams are now way deep in the gas, fighting for their lives. And Strixie's just able to play covering fire with these rocks and just waiting for the rest of these teams to thin each other out. This is the nature of the game. When do you put the pedal to the metal, and when do you slow yourself down and let the other teams do the dirty work for you? So cool to watch this one more time in the aerial view. Here's the final fight with Time kind of isolated out by himself on the far right hand or left hand side now as we take the aerial view and tip the final moments where Dongy almost does the impossible.
Yeah, look, if someone's going to be able to do so, it's Dongy. Just can really clutch up when needed. That team is so scary. Super Ev makes that come through, and Johnny Bro and Tap just completely flip the script and piece them together alongside with Time. And with all of this carnage that's occurring, Dongy makes a really strong choice here. Throws the PDS outside of gas, tries to stabilize, even gets more eliminations onto Super Evan's team before coming back in. Now, granted, that would have been a monumental effort to turn that around for a map win. Doesn't get it through, but regardless, that was a win that team needed to get.
Yeah, and you have the juxtaposition of the Dongy team at the top of the leaderboards, getting into second place and third place, but